Hi everybody, I'm Frank Garcia from Prima here at Scrapbook.com. Just wanted to tell you a little bit about myself. I've been scrapbooking for 7 years. I love mixed media, love art journaling, love mini albums and scrapbooks, and I really want to share that with you guys today. We're going to be working on a lot of different projects. We're going to be working on this beautiful card using a lot of our new art basics line. We're going to be using glitter. We're going to be using texture paste. We're also going to be working on this beautiful art journal using a lot of our new mediums as well. And then if you pan over here, we're going to be looking at some of the artful mini albums. I'm really passionate about mini albums because I really feel they can store a lot of your beautiful memories. These mini albums are not only just mini albums, they're artful mini albums. That's what I like to call them. And I do them all the time. I create different sizes, different shapes, and different types of themes. So I really hope you guys can join me on this journey. All right, let's get started. This is a beautiful card using some of our new mixed media products. We are using some glass glitter, some graphite texture paste, some gesso. So I want to show you guys how to make this beautiful card, okay? So we're going to go ahead and get started with a piece of heavyweight chipboard. This is a 5x5" chipboard piece. We're going to be using our heavy gesso in white. Okay, this is from our Art Basics line, brand new. I'm going to be using just a simple brush. I'm going to go ahead and start painting this chipboard piece here. And I love this gesso because it really provides really great coverage. You really don't need a lot. A little bit goes a long way here. So I'm just going to go ahead and give it a quick coat of paint. All right. That looks pretty good. All right. I'm going to set this aside to dry really quick. And I have another piece here. This is a 4x4" heavyweight chipboard piece as well. I'm just going to go ahead and paint that as well with a little bit of gesso. And gesso is a primer, so primers are used to prime canvases or any kind of surface, but it's a really great medium for you to be able to spray on, to paint on. It provides that necessary texture for all of your awesome mediums to go on, so it's a really great surface to work on. I'm just going to get my edges right here. All right. Looks good. I'm just going to go ahead and grab my heat tool really quick, and I'm just going to give this a quick dry. Now you can definitely do a second coat on here if you wanted to it to be really, really white, but I kind of like it kind of shabby chic, so it doesn't really have to need another coat. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this larger piece. I'm going to take a little bit of score tape. This is a 1" score tape. I'm going to go ahead and apply this on the edges here. Just trying to get as straight as possible. I'm going to grab my scissors here real quick. And I'm going to go ahead and trim off the excess. And I like to kind of go over just a little bit, just to make sure I go right up to that edge. I'm going to go over here now. And score tape is really great for holding all kinds of glitters, all kinds of beads. We have some glass beads that are really cool. So I really like working with score tape. It really holds everything down, and it's a really nice tape to work with, especially for cards. So you can see here on the card I used some glass glitter. Just one more piece here. And we're only going to do a border, okay, because we're going to put the other piece in the center, so we really don't need cover the whole frame here. I'm going to go ahead and peel these off. And I did miss a few pieces here, so I'm just going to go in there, just put a little more tape there, just in those little spots that I missed. I don't measure, so I am pretty terrible at measuring. And that's okay, because I don't think projects need to be perfect. It just needs to look good, right? Perfect. I'm going to grab a little tray here just so I don't get too messy. I'm going to be using my glass glitter here from Prima. This is the Gold Rush color. It's a glass glitter from our Art Ingredients line. And just open that, and I'm going to apply the glitter. Look how shiny that is. I love it. I love gold stuff. It just looks so pretty. use a lot of gold on my project, so I'm gonna go ahead and cover that up. I'm gonna give it a shake. I think this part is so much fun. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and just kind of tap off that excess. Look how pretty that looks. Isn't that awesome? So I'm just gonna go ahead and tap off the excess. Gonna put this to the side here. And I love this little funnel because then I could just put it back onto my little jar here. And this glass glitter works great on flowers, cards, any type of mixed media project that you like. Even like this mixed media card, it looks really pretty and it looks very elegant. So I really like that. I'm gonna go ahead and put this over here. Right. So now that we have this here, I'm gonna go ahead and take some ink and I'm gonna go ahead and just go around the edges here just to kind of cover up a little bit of that white. I just didn't want any of that craft showing, so we went ahead and primed our chipboard with the gesso just so it doesn't look through. And some of that glitter from the side, it is gonna just kind of drop off, and that's okay because we don't need it on the edges. We just need it in the center of the base here. Okay, perfect. I'm gonna start working on my smaller piece here. And this one's a little bit more interesting because we're gonna be using a new texture paste. It's called graphite. And this reminds me of, like, you know, when they're putting up a new street and like that pavement stuff. I don't know what it's called. It's terrible. But it's graphite, I guess. But it's just really cool. It gives you a really nice texture. And this is from our Art Extravagance line. And it's also new. Okay, and as you can see, it's like a light gray, but when it dries, it really becomes this really beautiful graphite color, and it's almost glittery. It's really, really beautiful. So we're gonna go ahead and apply that with a stencil. I have here a bubble stencil. This one's really, really fun. You want to pick an area that's going to be, it has a lot of small little details, kind of like this here. I'm going to go ahead and grab my little palette knife here, and I'm going to go ahead and spread that on. It's almost like spreading icing on a cake, very easy. I'm going to go ahead and lift up my stencil now to reveal that really awesome pattern. Okay, I'm gonna set this aside, and I'm gonna go ahead and lift up my little chipboard piece here, and carefully you just want to run your finger across the edge here. I'm just gonna wipe it off on my non-stick mat here. You just want to make sure that those edges are nice and straight. Okay, gotta be very careful here. I'm just gonna run my finger on this last side. Okay, so now we just have to dry our texture paste, and I'm gonna go ahead and grab a heat tool here, and you just want to kind of dry this. And the way you'll know it's dry is that it'll start to turn a darker color. So you just want to make sure that you distribute that heat evenly. All right, so you can see now it's sort of semi-dry now. You can kind of see the glitter there. You can see how it changed from this to a very darker kind of graphite color. Okay, you can see a little bit of that shimmer there. And it's okay, it's almost dry. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and ink this with a little bit of ink just around the edges. Just to kind of get a little bit of that brown in there. Just very carefully, I'm just gonna go ahead and ink that around the edges. Just any brown ink will be fine. And that's just to give it a little bit of a more vintage look. All right, perfect. So now we're gonna go ahead and do some spraying. Okay, I'm using Color Bloom sprays here from Prima. This is the gold foil and antique gold colors. I have to admit, these are my favorite colors. You know, if you follow me, you know that I love the browns and I love the golds. I'm gonna give this a quick shake. And as you know, our sprays do two types of spraying. They do our splatter and the full spray. So I'm gonna try to get some splatters in there and then some spray. Okay, And you want to kind of get some splatter effects, so I'm just going to go ahead and give this a quick dry. Alright, and as you know, our sprays have a lot of shimmer in there, so it's going to add a lot of beautiful glittery shimmerness to your project. Okay, so we have some splatters there. I'm going to go ahead and go with my antique gold now. And you have to remember, antique gold is a dark color, so we don't want too much of that. So I'm just going to go ahead and do some light splatters. Okay, I think that's good. Just going to give this a dry. Alright, so as you can see, there's a lot of layering of colors there, a lot of shimmer. I think I want to add a little bit more gold foil here. Just a little splatters are fine. And I think that'll be good. Alright. Now you can see we went from basically a basic chipboard piece to this really awesome mixed media background with our texture paste, our gold foil and antique gold color blooms. And look how awesome that looks. It really looks really pretty. I wish you guys could see it in person. And we're going to go ahead now and assemble our card. And they're going to look like little chocolate kisses at first, but then they're going to go ahead and get all rounded on top. It helps if you play a little bit of classical music while you're doing this, just so you can get a little focused. And don't try to rush it. It's always nice to just kind of take your time and do it at a slow pace so you get those nice and even pearls. There we go. And you just want to kind of let this dry. It takes usually about 15-20 minutes to dry, but once it's dry, you can see here, it's really pretty effect. Okay, you have your liquid pearls here, nice texture. You have the texture from the graphite texture paste, lots of shimmer from the color blooms, and then you have our pretty gold rush glass glitter around the edge here. Just really adds a really beautiful effect.